Fudge. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Angus and Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you try their New York steaks, the filet mignon, and of course the king of all, those cowboy cut and tomahawk cut prime ribeyes. Best in the business. Hell, even those Angus and Wagyu prime burgers, best I've ever had, likely be the best you've ever had as well. Check them out at UppercutChops.com. That's www.uppercutchops.com on your mobile device or on your regular computer. Or guess what? Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to call them and find out what's for dinner. 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935 for UppercutChops.com. Yes! That's my patented yes! Nobody else does that. So don't start going yes unless you credit me, because that's mine. All right, a big welcome into everybody watching on television on our Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, and WOW Cable Television affiliates, Hotel TV in over 500,000 rooms from coast to coast, as well as our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates, plus independents from coast to coast on the radio, in addition to everybody on Facebook, AMP TV, and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. All right, folks, I got to tell you this. Right from the top of the show, this was fun. And this was recently, I went to this thing called Unicon. It's one of those like a Comic Con, right? I don't really go to those comic book things, but I was invited by some friends and I ran into some really cool people. Actually met Tinkerbell, the original Tinkerbell, hired by, yes, Walt Disney. Yes, she's 93 years old. Took a photo with her, posted on social media, had a couple thousand likes for it. But you know what? She's going to come on to this program in maybe a couple of weeks. And boy, you want to talk about a lady with some great stories? Wow. So also at this Unicon, there was some vendors. They had some food items, some handmade items. And one of those was Alexandria's Treasures. Yes, Alexandria's Treasures. I'm going to hold this card up so everybody could see this on Facebook, AMP TV, and that would also be on Instagram as well. Everybody else watching on television. So Alexandria's Treasures, gems, jewels, and more. You know what? I went home with more. Yes, and I went home with these incredible blocks of fudge, from strawberry pocky to triple chocolate, a butter, was it a butterscotch beer? I don't even know what the hell. It's tastes incredible. One with s'mores, one with cookies and cream. I got a whole mess of these things. Anyway, check them out at AlexandriasTreasures.com. AlexandriasTreasures.com. I'm going to hold this card up so everybody can see their information right there. There it is. Everybody watching on television, you can see. So if you miss this, go back to the beginning. Their telephone number is there. It's 702-540-0092. If you're listening in on the radio and you don't get a chance to see what's going on television, check them out right here. Here's all their contact information. And you want to talk about really cool handmade products. I told them, I said, you give me some fudge, give me some goodies, and I'll go ahead and I'll plug you on the radio and on television. That's exactly what I'm doing, folks. Phenomenal products, and I have a whole kitchen full of this stuff. It is remarkable. I don't get paid for saying this. I just dig it, and I love handmade pastries and baked goods and candies and cookies and stuff. I especially love fudge, but also workmanship made in America. Yes! All right, speaking of which, we're going to get into our top story here. Only one place in the country this could possibly happen. And you know, people say, well, you know, Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love. It doesn't seem like they love everybody like they say, if you know what I mean. It seems quite the opposite if you're keeping score. And you know, Philadelphia is one of those places that most people don't know this, and if you do, you're one of the few. Philadelphia, as I believe, has lost more professional sporting games than any other city in America. Yeah. And so guess what? Just to go along with this, you know, this is when you know you got the story right. Now, how many television programs or radio programs or whatever are going to cover this one? How do you like this one? Philadelphia becomes the first city to ever lose 2 championships in one day. Yes, as a matter of fact, Philadelphia, this one's out of every major publication you can find. Philadelphia has never been what you would call the most cheerful sports town. This is according to the article, but I have my own flavor to this one as well. But its misery reaches new heights, and the city lost both the Major League Soccer Cup and the World Series in a span of about 5 hours. That's unbelievable. And I got to tell you, nice round of applause for the city of Philadelphia doing exactly what I know you do. You choke. You play your games with 10 fingers around your throat, if you know what I mean. So, of course, going from the Philadelphia Union's heartbreaking loss, LAFC, to another dramatic loss for Philadelphia and the Phillies that, of course, they clinched their World Series loss to the Houston Trastros. I gotta love this poetic justice. So, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, it's the first time a city has ever lost 2 championships in one day. But to be fair, they say, it's pretty hard to lose 2 championships in one day, as you either need the MLS Cup to coincide with the World Series or the NBA Finals to line up with the Stanley Cup Finals. Regardless, Philadelphia certainly has had better days. And of course, but at least Philadelphia, as far as the Eagles go, currently they're undefeated. But don't worry, they'll find a way to lose somehow. Because why? The city of Philadelphia knows losing. How do you like that? So the Union's loss to the LA Football Club, and that's for soccer, was absurd, as they say. It's an exaggeration to say that the MLS Cup was the greatest game in the history of the league. But in a meeting between the best records of the Eastern and Western Conference, the Union and the LA Football Club traded 2 goals before heading into the extra period. And of course, then things got weird. The Union seemingly won the match and the title when Jack Elliott connected for a goal in stoppage time. And then Gareth Bale, a winger long removed from his days as an elite player in Europe, a man who had logged only 6 piddly minutes for the LA Football Club since mid-September, we're talking a couple of months now, scored the latest goal in Major League Soccer history. And of course, the match ended up going to penalty kicks, where the Union should have had an advantage thanks to the red card and an injury that knocked out LA Football Club goalkeeper Maxime Crepeau. Instead, journeyman backup goalkeeper John McCarthy stepped in for LA Football Club and logged 2 saves to take the title. So compared to the soccer match, the Phillies' loss was straightforward, but no less of a gut punch, if you know what I mean. I mean, we like that stuff, right? We certainly like that. But Philadelphia entered the Game 6 of the World Series down 3-2, needing a win to force Game 7. And in starting pitcher, they had the better of the 2 starting pitchers in Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler is a very good starting pitcher. And this guy shut out the Astros for the first 5 innings. But guess what? Kyle Schwarber opened the door for some hope with a solo home run in the top of the 6th inning. But when Wheeler ran into some trouble in the bottom of the inning, the wheels came off. Phillies manager Rob Thompson opted to lift Wheeler for reliever Jose Alvarado to face Yordan Alvarez. And guess what happened there? Alvarez hit a towering, mammoth, gigantic, gigantar, ridiculous, ridiculous 3-run jack that would have been a home run after another ballpark. You put 2 ballparks together back to back, it still would have been a home run. This guy couldn't have unloaded and hit a bigger home run. It was right to dead center field. Nobody was going to catch that one. And guess what? In Philadelphia, in fitting fashion, I mean, hell, they cheat in elections and crap like that. I guess they get votes from New York. They had 180,000 of them, I guess, trucked down. That's what the word has it. I guess the mules were already in progress, for election time. So since Philadelphia cheats in elections, well, we couldn't let the cheaters from Houston beat them now, could we? Well, we didn't have to do that because Philadelphia beat itself in this one, kind of like what's going to happen likely in this election thing, right? They're already trying to steal this midterm stuff. It ain't going to happen. No, it's the big red wave coming. And guess what, Philadelphia? Crunch up your butt cheeks because it ain't going to be pretty. Just like the World Series, it wasn't pretty. Just like the MLS Cup, it wasn't pretty. And frankly, right now, nothing's going real pretty in the city of Philadelphia. And the Philadelphia Eagles are incredibly overrated. Wait till they start playing the better competition. Jalen Hurts is not the next coming. Sorry, it is what it is. They play in a weak division. Well, kind of like Philadelphia itself. The city is kind of a weak city, playing second, third fiddle to New York and to Boston. Guess what, Philadelphia? Rough times are coming. So don't try to cheat in the voting thing. We already know you're going to try to do that, just like last time, right? Well, and that's what happens, I guess, in the state of Pennsylvania. But we're going to be back here at the circus, and we're going to talk a little bit more headlines when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on the Sports Circus. Back in a few.
What does he think I am, an imbecile?
You nitwit.
What's up, Doc?
You'll get your chance, smart guy.
We used to do this on the circus all the time. We always had great sound effects. We're coming back for break in just about 30 seconds or so. Enjoy this. I got something for you. Ready for this one?
Oh, Norman.
Don't call me Norman. Call me Chubsy Ubsy.
What's up, Doc?
Don't you give me none of your back talk.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. This segment brought to you in part by our friends over at Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning. Maybe somebody tried to steal the election in your backyard and you need an attorney, or you need some legal help, or you want to put something together. Contact Legal Shield. Maybe they can help. More information, 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Or check them out online at nocourt.us. That's www.nocourt.us. Also, you can email them for more information at info@nocourt.us. Yes! All right, welcome back to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates of the Independents from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA. That's home of the San Francisco 49ers, the New York Yankees, and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome into everybody that may be listening in with our friends over in California on NBC and CNBC News, or actually NBC News and CNBC Financial, whichever it is, take your pick. Good friends of ours over there. And also right here in Las Vegas Public Radio, KQQY. Big news coming for KQQY. Can't tell you just yet. Wait for the press release. It's coming out. By the way, the circus has some press releases coming out too. Can't tell you about them just yet either. Also, welcome into everybody over in Atlanta. Good morning, everybody in Atlanta. WDJY 99.1 FM. Over in Auburn, Alabama, home of the world champion Atlanta Braves from last year. And of course, still WAUD out of Auburn. That's stretching from Montgomery, Alabama, all the way over to Columbus, Georgia. Thanks for joining us there. Also picking up our content over in Lubbock, Texas on Texas Tech University Radio. That's KTXT 88.1 FM, Raider Radio. Thanks for joining us over there, as well as everybody watching on television in hotels in 500,000 rooms, plus Cox Comcast, Spectrum Frontier, and WOW Cable Television, and Time Warner. Don't want to forget them. Time Warner affiliates that may be picking our content up as well from coast to coast. Thanks for joining us. All right. So in the last segment, we had Philadelphia, the city of losers, the only city that actually, well, was able to successfully lose 2 championships within a 5-hour stretch of one another. That's unbelievable. Unprecedented. All right, so here, other sports headlines we have to talk about for just a moment. And, you know, watching that Patrick Mahomes debacle turned good somehow in a night game over the weekend, you know, you scratch your head and say, all right, we know that Vegas is involved in the point spreads in a lot of these games. And then you look at questionable calls on the field. We have, well, certain pass interference calls, certain offsides calls, certain illegal hands in the face, illegal use of hands and pass interference, all this other crap, right? Roughing the quarterback. But you know, the funny thing is, when you look at these videos of the replays and you scratch your head and say, I wonder how much influence the casinos had in this. Nobody wants to talk about this. I'll talk about it. You know why? Because I don't give a damn. That's why. You could say, oh, you know, you're a conspiracy guy. Really? You know, that conspiracy stuff seems to be coming true. So they say, well, you're one of those guys. Really? I don't mind being one of those guys. Because every time I see that stuff happen and then I see the truth come out, I say, oh, yeah, I was one of those conspiracy guys, right? Remember that, if you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so Mahomes somehow gets a win and a comeback win that conveniently, well, they didn't cover the spread, but they got the win. How magical was that? Nonetheless, so the Titans, they break their 5-game skid. In the meantime, also, Tom Brady. It's a Tom Brady sighting in the first place column. Yes, oh, as the cards would have it, another magical comeback by Tom Brady over the team that was handed a Super Bowl last year by the referees. Oh, that's right. It was really Super Bought Part 2, because you may recall that Aaron Donald lined up in the neutral zone as Cincinnati was driving in for the winning score in the last Super Bowl. With 40-odd seconds left, I think it was 4th and 2, whatever the hell it was. It was 4th and 2. Aaron Donald lined up in the neutral zone, which would have been a 5-yard penalty for lining up in the neutral zone. Cincinnati would have got a first down. Oh, but we can't have that now, can we? So, of course, the Rams were handed a Super Bowl win. Sorry, everybody, that's a football fan and thinks the Rams actually won that game. No, the referees won. And why do I say that? Because the referees are the lowest paid people on the field of play. Imagine that. So is it easier to buy the team? Or is it easier to buy a referee? Or is it easier to give the teams a little extra incentive to go along with the narrative? And this would be the third time for Cincinnati, by the way. Unfortunately, the Rams really didn't win that game. I'm sorry. They got the win in the win column, so to say. But guess what? Part of that narrative goes back to, well, hell, Tom Brady won a Super Bowl at home because they won a Super Bowl at home. On the East Coast, now we have to have, in the brand new stadium in Los Angeles, what do we have to have? A home team Super Bowl winner with all the stars, all the musical stars, and all the music stars, the film stars, and all that other BS. Well, guess what? That was a big steaming pile. And everybody, of course, they didn't have their mask on. Oh, God forbid, you do anything without a mask on, right? And now suddenly nobody has to wear a mask. How magical is that? Well, I guess Tony Fauci had the answer for that too, right? First you said you have to wear a mask, and you don't have to wear a mask, and you have to wear a mask, and a double mask, and a triple mask. Now you don't have to wear a mask. Well, what is it, folks? Oh, that's right. That's that whole pandemic thing. Anyway, another story for another time. So anyway, Tom Brady has another one of those vintage moments, driving the Bucs for a game-winning touchdown to who? Who did he beat? He beat the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. So the current champions of the National Football League that won their home game lost to, conveniently, the home team in Tampa, their home Super Bowl win from the year previous. Come on, folks. I mean, this is all scripted, in my opinion. Of course it is. I have to say in my opinion because it's an editorial, right? Whatever. But the evidence is remarkably compelling. So let's go to NASCAR real quick. How about Joey Logano wins the 2022 Cup Series title win with a victory at Phoenix? And there was a lot going on around the whole Joe Gibbs racing thing. And with Ty Gibbs crashing his way into the finals and stuff like that. That was another story, folks. You have to check that one out. Imagine you have to wreck your way into the finals only to do what? Only to lose, and Joey Logano hoist the cup, so to say. Gotta like that. You guys round of applause for Joey Logano. And here, our beloved Chicago Bears. Now, of course, I'm a Chicago guy. Unfortunately, everybody on TV can see my Chicago Blackhawk right above me. And unfortunately, well, the Bears have seen better days. The Bears have seen better days because they've got a quarterback running for his life. And he is first of all, the worst part about it, he's an Ohio State quarterback on top of it. There's nothing good about Ohio State quarterbacks. Check the record books, folks. They don't do much. They put out every other good position except quarterback. And what do the Bears do? Of course, the Bears went fishing and they say, I guess we'll go ahead and...
Show me the money!
Yeah, we'll give a little bit of money to this kid who just runs wildly in the pocket or lack thereof. And worse, he has an O-line to protect him, but even worse, when he throws the ball, he telegraphs the ball. So now he's forced to run. And yeah, he's fast and elusive. But guess what? This dude's going to get hit outside the pocket, and that's going to be the end of the career of Justin Fields running the ball. Now, we saw the same thing with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was one hell of a quarterback when he came out of college. And he rolled out in a game, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Philadelphia playing the Rams. And Carson Wentz got drilled at 6'5" and 250, whatever the hell it is. I mean, he's a big, big boy. But you have to treat the quarterback as a running back when they've got the ball. And they're fair game. You could drill them. You could put a hat into them. Hey, it is what it is. Sometimes people get hurt. Justin Fields, remember, this guy's going to get hurt at some point for running that ball. But remember, here's the worst part about Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears and their idiocy in picking this clown. Well, guess what? Justin Fields was a transfer from Georgia, for everybody that doesn't know. And he was playing behind Jake from State Farm, but you can really call him Jake Fromm, if you know what I mean. So anyway, Jake Fromm, a very average quarterback at best. He's no Stetson Bennett, folks. Jake Fromm is a backup quarterback in the National Football League. And guess what? Justin Fields could not even beat him out at Georgia. That's how bad this guy was. And so he transfers to Ohio State, a better system. And you could put a German Shepherd in the backfield at Ohio State, and they'll end up as a number 1 draft pick or a first-round draft pick. So the Bears got sucked into this, paid this guy umpteen millions of dollars. They backed up the Brinks truck to pay this guy, only to do what? to do what? To run around literally like this guy is like his pants are on fire. Because he's been sacked more than anybody else in the league since he's been in, and this guy's going to get hit. But all he does seemingly is run the damn ball. Oh, he sets a record. Oh, Fields breaks an NFL record for most rushing yards in a game by a quarterback. That's a terrible stat. That tells you, it tells the audience that Justin Fields leaves the pocket. So he is a run-pass option guy, but truly a run-then-pass option guy. This guy's looking to run the ball. He's looking to be the hero. And unfortunately, his team is the zero. They scored 32 points, and they still lost to the Miami Dolphins. That's how bad the Chicago Bears are. But worse, the system this kid is in, he's going to get hurt. His career's going to end. And folks, he really isn't that good anyway. I'd rather have Trevor Siemian in there because at least it's a pocket passer. Tell you what, and finally, by the way, last headline for major sports, well, not major sports, but anyway, for baseball, Edwin Diaz agrees on a 5-year deal with the New York Metropolitans, and what a colossal waste of money, in my opinion, that is. How the hell are you going to give this guy $100 million? Come on, man. This guy's been everywhere pitching. How ridiculous. What a colossal waste of money, in my opinion. Back here in a few minutes on The Circus. Don't go anywhere. Go steal some votes.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this commercial right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935, or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for less than $1 a day. For real.
We don't want to hear that commercial, do we? You know what we want to hear? We want to hear something fun. And this is for all of our hockey fans out there and our Chicago Blackhawks fans.
Detroit sucks! Detroit sucks! Detroit sucks! Detroit sucks! Detroit
Why don't we play this? Listen, if you know anything about hockey, and if you've ever had a chance to go to a hockey game in Chicago, and of course, if you happen to have gone to a game against, well, the Hawks and the Detroit Red Wings, probably sports' most fierce rival. Yes, the Bears and Packers are a big one. The Giants and Dodgers are a big one. The Chiefs and the Raiders are a big one. But not like the Hawks and Wings, folks. The Hawks and Wings, that's a whole different animal. As a matter of fact, it's so bad, of course, there's a lot of fights out on the ice. There's fights in the seats. There are fights outside the stadium. And this is hockey. So, right, you go to a fight and maybe a hockey game will break out, right? Well, with these two teams, the fan base despises each other as much as the team does. And I remember watching a game on television between Chicago and Detroit. And even Jonathan Toews got into it with the whole Detroit sucks things on top of it and smiling and smirking, saying, you know what? Our fans are saying exactly what we feel. I'm paraphrasing, but I tell you what, folks, it is a lot of fun. All right, here we go. 1-9. Call now.
Hey, everybody. This is Barry Katz from the Industry Standard Podcast, and you're listening to the Sports Circus with Sal Tuzzolino.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. This segment brought to you in part by our friends over at Cali Vegas, helping people create and host their very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help people get out of sitting in hours of traffic, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job, and host their very own talk show in their very own home studio. For more information, contact Cali Vegas at info@calivegas.com. That's info@CALIvegas.com, or check them out online at www.calivegas.com. Yes! They've been with us since the very beginning of the Sports Circus several years ago, folks. We've done about a couple thousand shows. And so what? We're still on air. That's the good news. We haven't been completely kicked off yet, if you know what I mean. Anyway, how about this one? You know, happy days. But better yet, also, first, a big welcome back to everybody on radio and TV land. You know who you are. Also, everybody streaming on Instagram, Facebook, and AMP TV, AAMP.TV. Like, subscribe, and follow. Shameless plug. Happy days in Chicago. Although we were talking about Justin Fields and, of course, the Chicago Bears and their horrific club. They're 3-6, but guess what? Are you ready for this one? The death spiral is going on just a couple of hours north of Chicago because the Green Bay Packers are also 3 wins against 6 losses, just like the Bears. Yes! So it could be a complete loss for the season so long as Green Bay and Chicago are in the same position and the Bears win one of those games. Yes, Green Bay is on a 5-game skid. What could be better for all you non-bandwagon Packer fans, huh? That's what I'm talking about. Aaron Rodgers, buddy, maybe you need to cut that here. I don't know. Maybe you need to stop doing TV commercials. And, you know, I 100% agree with your position on no shot and everything else. I'm very happy that you came out and support your position. But as a quarterback, bro, I am sick to bleeping death of seeing you do your touchdown championship belt thing, whatever the hell you do. I am tired of it. It is a very happy day for me to see the Packers in a death spiral, if you know what I mean. So Aaron Rodgers, historically bad. Not just bad. This according to CBS Sports. Aaron is historically bad in the Packers' loss, yes, to the cellar-dwelling Detroit Lions. This guy throws 3 interceptions, 2 in the end zone, by the way. So CBS Sports says, yes, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have seen better days, and the NFL's back-to-back MVP looked anything but in Green Bay's 15-9 loss to the Detroit Lions that moved them to 3 wins against 6 losses in the season. Yes! So Rodgers was one of the main culprits, according to CBS Sports, for why his team is now well under 500 after he played arguably one of the worst games of his future Hall of Fame career. Now, of course, Aaron threw 3 interceptions, of course, on this day, and each of them came at the worst possible times. 2 of those picks came on the 2 first drives for Green Bay. Gotta like that. After moving the ball all the way down to the Detroit 5-yard line on their first possession of the game, Rodgers' pass for Allen Lazard was picked off inside the end zone by Kirby Joseph, and Rodgers went off. This guy blew his mind. Rodgers' throw went off the helmet, off a Lions defender around the line of scrimmage. Buddy, you got to get it up, if you know what I mean. Right. So anyway, unfortunately, it went off the Lions defender's helmet around the line of scrimmage, and Joseph was able to secure the interception after the ball jolted into the air and eliminated Green Bay's scoring opportunity. And on the very next possession, the Packers were again able to move the ball deep into Lions territory and were knocking on the door of the end zone once again as the ball sat at the Detroit 1-yard line. Bro, you're 3 feet away from the end zone. After A.J. Dillon was unable to punch it in on 3rd and goal, Matt LaFleur kept his offense on the field for 4th down, and Aaron Rodgers tried to trick the Lions with a pass to the left tackle, David Bakhtiari. And guess what? That throw was also picked off, as of course Aaron couldn't put enough on the pass. Maybe that hair got in the way, not really sure. which of course was intercepted by Aiden Hutchinson, and that's 2 picks in the end zone. Imagine, you're 6 yards away from 14 points. 6 yards away from 14 points. And what'd you do? You didn't do what you were supposed to do. So guess what, Aaron? It seemed like you may have made a mistake. But the good news about it is that you made a mistake. And the better news about it, you did it twice. And I love the fact that Aaron Rodgers was doing what? Throwing interceptions. And we love interceptions by Aaron Rodgers. We always love those. Those are fun. So anyway, now, despite those 2 early picks, Green Bay's defense allowed them to hang around and only trailed by 8 going into halftime after Alexander picked off Jared Goff on Detroit's opening possession of the second half. And the Packers had a chance to take control of the game, but blew it. And Rodgers did what? He did the unthinkable and threw yet another interception. This guy. Anyway, just 2 plays after Alexander's interception, Rodgers gave the ball right back to the Lions as his pass to Robert Tonyan inside the Detroit 5-yard line again was picked off by Joseph. Now that's 3 interceptions inside, we'll call it the 5-6 yard line of the other team. Can you say compromised game? Can you say maybe, possibly Vegas was in on this one? Could you say maybe there was some kind of fix involved? I'm saying it because I can. And I love the fact that maybe there was a payoff somewhere in there. I don't know. I'm not the guy that does it, but I am the guy that watches just like you. Literally 2 plays after Alexander's interception of Jared Goff, conveniently, Aaron gave the ball right back to the Lions. Now, we saw this movie about a week ago, and I think it was on Monday Night Football. In fact, I even called it for everybody on PlaceYourBet.Vegas. Everybody watching or watching the updates or going to PlaceYourBet.Vegas. What did you see? You saw what certainly appeared to be a fix in a football game. In fact, I even posted it. I posted it right when it happened. It was probably 10 minutes before the game had ended. Exactly what was going to happen in the football game. It was ironic. Well, guess what? This one stinks to high heaven of a fix. Of course, this was Aaron Rodgers' first career game with multiple red zone interceptions. How do you throw 3 interceptions within the 5-yard line? I'm talking the other team's 5-yard line. No, Aaron doesn't do that. Aaron is a superstar quarterback. I don't think so. I don't think so, folks. And, of course, his first multi-interception game against a divisional opponent since 2013. In his 2 previous MVP campaigns, the last 2 seasons, Aaron had 63 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. 2 in the red zone. That's it. He is also the only quarterback since at least the year 2000 with 2 red zone interceptions on the first 2 drives. So that's particularly damning, according to CBS Sports, when you consider the matchup. Coming into Week 9, the Lions ranked dead last in the NFL in DVOA against the pass. Yeah, and they were allowing 266.4 passing yards per game, 27th in the league, and allowing opposing clubs to score touchdowns on a 73.08% clip of their red zone trips. Dead last in the National Football League. So you mean to tell me that there was no compromising, no compromise, no funny business, no monkey business? How did these things just magically happen? Folks, in my opinion, they don't just magically happen.
Excellent.
There is an event that makes these things happen. And you have the best performing NFL teams. And of course, this fan surveys. Green Bay is supposed to be the top 1. Kansas City 2nd, New Orleans 3rd, Buffalo 4th, and Baltimore 5th. The worst performing NFL teams as far as the fans go: Cincinnati 26th, Charlotte 27th, New York 28th, Detroit 29th, and Jacksonville 30th. Now, of course, the best performing college football teams, the cities: Believe it or not, Fargo, North Dakota, because they're so used to winning over there, North Dakota State. Tuscaloosa with Bama, then tie for third between Princeton, New Jersey, and Hanover, New Hampshire. Figure that one out. And Columbus, Ohio, with the Zeros from Ohio State. The worst performing college football teams, as far as the city goes: Tucson, Arizona for Arizona's University of Arizona, Lawrence, Kansas for the University of Kansas, Akron for the Akron Zips, because they really are Zip, East Hartford, St. George, Utah, and Amherst, Massachusetts. Yeah, we're just going through these because we can. The lowest average ticket price for NFL games leads by Jacksonville first, Cincinnati second, Buffalo in third, Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals are, and Detroit, Michigan. Those are the 5 cheapest. And the most expensive, unfortunately, are Las Vegas, Boston, San Francisco, Green Bay, and Philadelphia. And one other little tidbit here: the lowest mid-season ticket price goes to Washington, Hartford, Connecticut, Cookeville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Richmond, Kentucky, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Clarkville, Tennessee, and the highest mid-season ticket price goes to Texas A&M, College Station, Ohio State, Auburn, University of Michigan, and Notre Dame. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this segment. We're going to be back here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on The Circus.
Hello Americans, it's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Don't wait. Call right now. 888-794-1630. 888-794-1630. Write it down. 888-794-1630. Again, for the last time, 888-794-1630.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest.
All right, let's get a little bit of business in here real quick. We got to make sure that we acknowledge everybody that's with us as well.
Wherever you are, whatever you do, have a nice day. Sky Radio on the Capital FM, today's best music, C100.
Zwoele zomerhits.
Klopvaste actua.
De leukste cadeaus. Donna.
The sound of summer.
Radio Donna.
W Trenton Kicks 101.5. The music you love to hear.
WRFM, Stereo 105.
You're listening to 97 WYNY. WYNY.
WAYB FM 95 Atlantic City, C100.
.com.
Hey, this is Tommy John, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. This segment brought to you in part by the Sports Circus. Make sure you check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guests, our prior guests, our recorded shows, which are a podcast, and those could be found on the homepage. There's a link to pick your favorite one, your favorite platform, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, Google Music, Amazon. We're even on Audible as well. iHeartRadio, you can't get away from us, folks. And even our affiliates, many of them have their own archives as well. Just click on whatever platform you want. Find the show that you want. All the shows are updated, so maybe you want to listen to a show or watch a show with your favorite guest, whatnot. You could do that. Everything has been done. I did it myself. Just. Also, make sure you check out the partners page. One of our partners has been with us since the very beginning, of course, is the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check it out, folks. I'm wearing one of those shirts right there. Everybody on TV can see it, right? If you're not on TV, well, guess what? You're missing out. Anyway, College of Southern Nevada, CSNCoyotes.com. College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out for their upcoming events, upcoming games, great venues, very affordable tickets. All your tickets can be purchased there if you're looking to do that. Also, if you want more information, just check them out at csncoyotes.com. Yes! All right, welcome back to everybody on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, and plus our independents, as well as everybody on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Wow Cable Television, and Hotel TV. Thanks for joining us. Big hello to our friend over there, Joey That Guy. You have to check him out. Joey That Guy. I have to find out what his URL is. I'll wait for him to send me the link so I could plug him on here. Joey's one of the good friends of the show. And, you know, there's another guy on television you see a lot that looks like Joey. Joey actually had the look first before this other guy who has the first name of Guy on top of it. Let's see if Joey sends me his link so I can plug him. A very interesting guy, a phenomenal cook. And this guy plays guitar like no one's business, folks. If you haven't seen a chef that can shred, this is the guy. Make no mistake, man. This dude can absolutely do it. As soon as I get his... Here, you go to on YouTube. Check this out. On YouTube, by the way, you can also listen to us, watch us, whatever, on YouTube as well. Joey That Guy Film. Just look that up on YouTube. Joey That Guy Film. And that's for our good friend Joey That Guy. All right, so in the last segment, talking about stadiums, college and pros, we have the most accessible stadiums. We have the highest ticket prices, the lowest ticket prices, basically the top five and the worst five. How about the most accessible NFL stadiums, right, for the handicapped and whatnot? And, of course, Green Bay leads the charge there because, I guess you eat too much of that cheese and have too many beers, you might end up handicapped somehow. Who the hell knows? I don't know. You may end up needing a little bit of assistance or something like that, going up and down the corridors. Well, guess what? In Green Bay, that's the most accessible stadium. How do you like that? Buffalo is second. The Phoenix, or you can call them Arizona Cardinals, are third. Pittsburgh, which used to be called Heinz Field, I have no damn clue what it's called now. Anyway, they're fourth, and Cincinnati is the fifth most accessible. And, of course, when we think about the least friendly cities in America, we think about the least friendly stadiums also. Philadelphia, the city of losers, the only city that loses 2 championships within 5 hours. Yes, they're in there in the bottom 5 along with Houston, LA, and New York, and unfortunately Chicago's there too. Now, of course, the most accessible college stadiums are Fayetteville in Mississippi, Clemson, West Point. Then we have another one in Mississippi, and Grambling makes the top 5 college stadiums most accessible, and the least 5 friendly, seemingly, from accessibility standpoint, are in Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Go figure. You know, you've got the nation's capital over there. How come they can't do a better job? Portland, one of those green cities that has, I think they had one of those chop zones or one of those really bad zones. I'm not really sure what that was. And of course, Indianapolis and New York. And, oh, by the way, going back to that YouTube and Joey That Guy Film. Check him out, Joey That Guy Film. Also, you can Google Joey That Guy. So check him out. Google Joey That Guy. Now, the most engaging NFL fans, here's an interesting one. They say Green Bay is tied for first with Pittsburgh as the most engaging NFL fans. Well, whatever happened to the city of brotherly love? You would think that they would be most engaging. I don't think so. Buzzer says no. Boston and those New England fans apparently are, well, they're engaging. New Orleans, yes, we would imagine they'd be in Arizona. Yeah, because those people in the greater Phoenix Valley, there's a migratory path. You could study these. I studied these a long time ago. And the people that migrate to Arizona largely are from the Midwest, basically from Chicago, Wisconsin, or Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, etc. And the people that migrate to Florida are the people from the Northeast. That's why there's a lot of people that aren't very friendly down there in Florida, down especially more particularly in that Miami area, because you got all these clowns from New York and New Jersey and Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. They're there, and those from Boston, right? We get that commercial all the time on TV. But nonetheless, that's why I guess in the most engaging fans, well, let's face it, the Arizona Cardinals are in that list. So how about the least engaging fans? Well, guess what? We have New York. We have Houston. Again, why Houston? You never know. Not really understanding that one. Maybe because they're pissed off because they lost to Houston Oilers. I'm not really sure. But that could be it. Jacksonville, Florida. Not really sure why that is. Oh, maybe it's that New York thing once again. Also, Chicago. Not very engaging fans. I'm not really sure about that one. Apparently, they haven't been to Al's Beef over at 1079 West Taylor. Best Italian beef on planet Earth. And, of course, those are our friends that go check out Bones. Tell Bones that Sal the Bookmaker from Place Your Bet and also from the Sports Circus sent you there. Now, the most engaging college football fans, apparently, of course, are in Clemson. I would agree with that. State College, Pennsylvania. Come on, man. No way. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm not really sure about that one. Ann Arbor, Michigan. No, lots of those. And they say Fayette, Mississippi. Now, the least engaging fans. Here's Portland once again. Portland showing up. Maybe because they don't have a good college football program up there. That could be it. Because unless they're bunching in Eugene, Oregon, I don't know, or Corvallis. That doesn't make sense because Portland is not Corvallis and Eugene. So that would take Oregon and Oregon State out of the picture. San Jose, California. Absolutely, yes. Not so engaging because the people in California generally suck. It is what it is, folks. And of course, this is Las Vegas, California. They've come here. The people from California have come here and destroyed Las Vegas. And also in the least engaging college football fans lies Richmond, Virginia, Baltimore, Maryland, of course, our nation's capital, and go figure, once again, New York. Yes, no surprise there, folks. And these are allegedly
excellent,
real,
excellent.
Well, yes, these are real bits of data, and they were collated by another organization. How about ranking cities in large cities scores, mid-city scores, basically from number one being best in college football and pro football overall? So you got some bits of information. How about Pittsburgh, Green Bay, and Alabama in college being allegedly the number one ranked best cities for football, right? And so let's go all the way down to the bottom, and let's check out the bottom just because we can. And we're going to go all the way down to about number 50. Lincoln, Nebraska, and Thibodaux, Louisiana are the worst for college and the worst in the pro rankings, according to what we have from this, well, from this statistic. Once again, we find the Houston area. What is wrong with the people there? We find Detroit, with no big surprise there. It's the kind of like the armpit of the United States, along with Cleveland. Cleveland sort of, well, in my opinion, probably the backside of the United States. And, this goes back to Joakim Noah. I love this about Joakim Noah when he played for the Chicago Bulls. When the Bulls were playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs a decade ago, whatever, he said he wasn't leaving the hotel room. And he had said, I'm paraphrasing, of course, he had said, who vacations in Cleveland? Nobody likes it here. I don't see anybody saying, I want to go to Cleveland for vacation. That's what he said. And you got to love Joakim. I got to get Joakim on the show and talk about that stuff. He's a pretty astute guy. Won a couple of national titles with the University of Florida. But I love the fact that he came out and said exactly what he was thinking. And, a lot of people don't do that. We do that here on this show. This is great stuff. That's why we talk about our friends and Joey that guy. And we talk about all these football, basketball, baseball, hockey people. You know what? I actually met Tinkerbell this past weekend. The original Tinkerbell. In case you're just tuning in, I think I mentioned this at the top of the show. But this is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. 93-year-old woman. I believe hired by Walt Disney. Just a supersonic, nice human being. And what a pleasure to speak with her. I got to tell you, I'm not one of those guys that I don't take selfies. I don't do that stuff. But I have a photo with her. They took it of us, whatever. And I actually got a signed picture from Tinkerbell with the cameras and stuff. It was a really cool, part animated, part regular photo. What a cool thing. And that's one of my cherished items. And I don't oogle over these things and whatnot. And I even got a Peter Pan book. And she made it out personally to me. Put a nice little caption in there for me. That's great stuff. And it'll be a pleasure to have. Her name is Margaret Carey. Margaret Carey. Check her out. Margaret Carey. Also, by the way, coming up, folks, real soon is going to be International Boxing Hall of Fame superstar referee, the immortal Joe Cortez is going to be on the show. Joe Cortez is the guy that he's done all the big fights, the crazy stuff. Pick your favorite fight. Chances are this guy is the one that reffed it, whether it's from Canelo all the way back to all the Mike Tyson fights, etc. Joe Cortez is going to be with us. Got to tell you, Joe is a great guy. I went to his museum the other day inside his house. He's got this incredible museum. And it's better than the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame's museum that I went to. I went to several times here in Las Vegas. Joe Cortez's museum is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, everybody on Instagram could go to TSC Show. TSC Show, if you're not on Instagram, actually, everybody watching Instagram can go ahead and check out the video. I did a 3.5-minute video of Joe in his museum. And it's unbelievable. And we're going to do a whole show from his museum. Folks, if you want to see something cool, and if you're not on Instagram right now, go to Instagram, TSC Show, and check out the 3-minute and 32-second video with Joe Cortez. And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow as well. I don't know. I think we have 20-odd thousand followers there. I don't really work the social media, but the fact is, this is a great piece of video. It's a very short one, too, so you can kind of wrap your head around it. And wait till Joe comes on the show. I can't wait till Margaret Carey comes on the show. We have so many great guests coming out of the show. And we have the Great American Road Trip coming up with Stephanie Stuckey from Stuckey's Roadside Diners and Restaurants and Gift Shops. That's going to be a fun one. That's also coming up. Folks, make sure you stick with us with the Sports Circus. We're going to be back in about 23 hours right here on your favorite station. So until then, so long, everyone.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-659-7805. 800-659-7805. 800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.